Well, I am just outside Oslo here in Norway. This is a river going into the ocean. So I don't know if you can see that. Here we have a floating restaurant. Yeah. So, like I said, this topic is about insecurity and expressing oneself. And two things. First, I want to share me and my sister. We used to have, or we still have, a good relationship, a great relationship, even though we don't live close by anymore. But I'm the older brother. Hi, Alesei. And she's some years younger. So I remember growing up, when she was a kid, I remember she was happy and joyful and doing all kinds of things all the time. But as she became like a teenager, she became more and more quiet. And I remember that when she was with me and we were alone, she would talk, she would dare to express herself. But as soon as there were like strangers, she was like not answering questions. She didn't dare to look them in the eye. And I had kind of the same as well in so many situations. And I remember when I was like, some years later, like about 19, when I was 19 or 18, 19, sorry, that was a fly or something coming out of the trees here. When I was like 19, I was like, I didn't know what to do in life because obviously I have passions. As I like media, I like music, and both areas were like not good for jobs in my area. I'm from countryside in Germany where there was no jobs in media and nothing in music at all. So people always said, okay, all my dreams are bullshit. So they wouldn't encourage me. So that kind of does something to you. So I was also starting to get really like broken. Didn't dare to express myself. And if somebody asked her, what do you want to be? I wouldn't say, I want to be a musician. Or I want to be a radio host. Or I want to be a video producer. Just didn't dare to answer anything anymore. So it happened to me as well. And then I didn't know what to do, actually. And just as a side note, the second story is intertwined. Because at the same time, I was a drummer. So I was used to being on stage, playing music. I was playing in bands since I was like maybe 11. And so if somebody asked me if I want to drum in any band, any song, I was like, sure, I can freestyle something. I don't even need to practice. I'm that good. I was very confident in that area. And then I got into DJing at the same time, like, hi, Rob Music. So I got into DJing when I was like maybe 17, 18. I think for my 18th birthday I got some equipment. And then that insecurity came in. I was like, even though I was practicing at home and I was getting good at the time, I would never tell anyone that I was trying to be a DJ. I just didn't dare. So only if people knew that I have a talent and I knew that they know that I'm good, then I would speak up. But otherwise, I was very insecure. And that obviously almost killed me. Because you can't live life if you don't express your hearts. Either if it's private and you just talk with your brother and sister and everything, you just gotta express your hearts. You have to be able to speak and share your ideas and have your own thoughts and speak them. And I wasn't like that when I was like 18. I was broken. And thanks for the hearts. That's a lot of hearts. Thank you. So actually what saved me, and literally saved me, that was actually maybe when I was 21 or something, 20 or something. I actually had an encounter with God where I just had this, I felt so lost and so lonely and didn't know what to do with my life. And I just had this, just one day, it was like, I have like birthday during the Christmas season. So I remember I had just had birthday. I moved back to where I was working at the time, which was my first job outside my home and outside the village where I grew up and all those things. So like an hour away from home. I had just arrived there again. So it must have been early January. And I was just like, okay, I need a mentor. I need a counselor. And I wanted him to be a Christian guy and somebody who's into arts or music. And I just knew, okay, I gotta learn how to open up to people in order to discover who God is, and in order to discover who I am. So it's all connected, and I believe that that's how life is. Life is not just black and white; it's actually very connected. And so there was a guy who I knew he was like being a mentor for people, and he was actually mentor of one or two or maybe all of them, I don't know, but some of the guys who were playing in a very popular band at the time, like the most crazy and expressive youth, or not youth, but young adults band, like pop rock and a bit crazy pop rock with rap, which I liked. And I know he was a friend of them or a mentor to them. So I was like, I got to talk with that guy because he understands creative people and he understands spiritual people, and that sounds good. And I was so shaking like a leaf. So in the beginning of that January, or the beginning of that year, I was just like, one evening after work, I just walked over to his house. We lived kind of close by, and ringed the door, and was like, I was shaking. I was like, hey, I don't know. I was so embarrassed to just ask him, but hey, I was just like, I need a mentor. I feel something is going on in my heart. I need to get out of not daring to express myself. And his answer, it almost disappointed me, but it almost also shocked me for joy, because he was like, yeah, somebody else canceled his appointment, so every Wednesday from now on I have time, every Wednesday evening. So I'll pray about it and let you know if I feel it's right. And then he called me back a while later and he was like, I have time, and like I said, and let's meet. And so from one day to the other, I had like this mentor, counselor, somebody who guided me through all kind of processes, and we talked a lot and read through books and helped me think right in the right direction. It just happened from one day to the other. And of course that made me much more free. Because if you're alone, you will never have any problems expressing yourself. Actually, yeah, you can, but there's nobody to listen anyway. So you gotta learn how to deal with people, whether that's in business or on stage or whatever. So for me, it's no problem to talk to you guys on Periscope so much, because I'm used to being on stage at least some part of my life, but still, I won't tell you everything, obviously, but I wasn't like that before. So that's my little story with insecurity and why you just can't live a life of not expressing yourself and being insecure. It just doesn't work. You'll feel stuck and lost inside. So I was one of those who had no hope when I was like 18 and 19. I didn't know what to do. And first, some years later, I was like, okay, I'm a creative person. I got to express that. I got to live that. I'm going to find a way to live that. And I am a mix between creativity, music, technology, and a bit of inspirational talking, obviously. And that's just my unique niche, my unique package. So that's who I am. And so no matter what you struggle with, I just encourage you to really... Oh, thanks for the share, Vanessa. Hi. So no matter what you struggle with, and no matter if you struggle with your personal expression, or if it's just finding your, let's say, your voice in the arts, that I just want to encourage you. You can do it. You might need somebody to talk to, a mentor or a helper or a leader, who helps you along the way. But there's no way around it. You gotta express yourself. If not, you'll just feel like your inside is just dying. And one of my most favorite quotes is like, I don't remember. I think it's from some co-worker of Martin Luther King Jr. From 1950s or something, some African-American preacher or something. He said, don't ask yourself what the world needs. You gotta look into your heart and find what makes you come alive, and then go do that, because the world needs nothing more than people who are truly alive. And that is just an amazing summary of how I think it is. So, yes. All right. Yes, amen for that. That's my message for you today. So thanks for sharing, thanks for hearts. You can watch the replay here, of course, for 24 hours, and if not, you can always go back to my YouTube channel where I will upload the replay as well. And of course, you're free to share it with your people. So goodbye, and see you next time.